Yeah, all right. Almost there. Writing instrument. Hey. Good morning, and welcome to the On Point Podcast, where we help you get your financial point across. I'm your host, Dr. Joseph Blake here, and welcome to the broadcast. And I know today is the best day ever. It's the day that we get information that's going to help us become greater investors, more about financial literacy and real estate. And I hope you enjoy what I have to share here with you for today. As we're going, it kind of rained yesterday in Goodyear, Arizona, so it was a rather wet day here, but it was fine. I mean, we need rain here in Arizona sometimes, and that helps us continue to grow. First of all, I want to kind of get your mind ready for something that's coming in 20. I know I'm a few months ahead, but this is what's coming in 2026. I have what's called my irresistible offer. My son there too. You there, son?
I'm here.
All right. In 2026, this is what's called my irresistible offer. My irresistible offer is going to have us some strategic insights in it, and the purpose of the irresistible offer is to be able to provide information that's going to help you as an individual. I'm quite sure to help you as a business owner as well. Just grow in what you're doing. Just grow in what you have to share. It goes beyond just products. It's a solution that addresses the target market and middle class Americans that are out there, and it's a framework to future-proof. So you're going to pretty much future-proof your finances. You're going to future-proof your professional blueprint for building wealth. So that's what's coming in 2026. So this piece is on my website. It gives you the outline. It is a 12-week course. The 12-week course is going to have some detailed information about financial foundation, career advancement, diverse income streams, things about legacy as well. This package fully is $6,000, but because of a limited time offer, I'm offering this particular offer for $997. $997, and then if you need to, you can put it into 3 different payments of $197 to get it all taken care of. But on the website, actionablefinancialliteracy.com, which is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you can go in and you can download the speech and look at it. And then also, if you want to register, sign up. My objective is to start in January. So the first 10 folks going to receive a special gift. So sign up for it, and begins in January 1st. Those that sign up for it are going to be greatly rewarded. All right. So, son, I see you there.
Yes.
How are things going so far today, sir?
So far, so good. I just had to run a few errands this morning. I've run a property management company for my 2 rentals, so I'm just trying to we got some bookings coming up, so I'm trying to get my properties in order and in good standing.
Yeah, I guess that's awesome. How long have you had those properties now?
Just about 2 years.
Okay, good step. Good. That's a good starting point to jump in and everything.
Right.
Okay, so with today's podcast, we're going to talk about financial literacy and real estate, some key insights for investors. The guest presenter, who was Stuart Gether, he should be coming. He ended up having a conflict on his schedule as well. So we'll go ahead and proceed on and then catch up with him later. So first of all, here's the information we're going to share here. In it, we're talking about the financial literacy in real estate. So here, there was a few questions I wanted to kind of get us to look at. So there's an intersection between financial literacy and real estate. So when we're looking at the intersection, is how homeowners and investors can make an informed decision about their well-being when it comes to real estate. So there's key questions that circle around it that help us address those issues and have a more comprehensive understanding about real estate financing and real estate investing. So one of the first questions I have, son, and you and I can discuss this here, is that when you're looking at analyzing a potential real estate investment property, how does a thorough understanding of cash flow, maybe, and that's not all of these, but the cash flow, cash rate, or cash on hand. Um, so how do an investor look at that and determine if it's like going to be a viable investment compared to another asset? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, those are certainly some factors they need to consider. Just how much money that you're putting into the deal, and then how long is it going to take before you can get a return on your investment? The investment terminology for that is ROI, and if you want to be a smart investor, you want to, you need to know your numbers. So you need to be able to analyze the deal, see, what's it going to take to turn a property around, assuming that it's in some type of distress. That's kind of where I specialize. As I find distressed properties, and when I find them, I have to run comps, and I compare it to other properties in the neighborhood, and then using that comparison, I determine, okay, what I look at the condition of the property, and then I do an analysis, and I figure out, I estimate what it's going to take to make this property in top condition. And the end goal is either to resell it or to rent it out. So you have to take all those factors into play, and then figure out, okay, how much money is it going to take me to get from X Y to Z. So there's some real estate formulas that are common in the investment space that we use to make those decisions.
Okay, okay. I found this video on YouTube, and it's talking about real estate investment in 2025. Let's hear what this gentleman has to say. It's just a short, and see if you agree or disagree with his thoughts. Okay.
Okay.
So hang on. Oh. It's not playing. It was a pretty good video. So you know what? Let me just maybe I can just change the screen here and get the actual video itself on here. Because the video, what he shares about it is that his insights on what may be key investment in 2025 as it relates to real estate may not be what everyone else feels. So here it is here, and let me get there window. All right, here we go, and listen to what he has to share. Okay. So um, that's how it went. I'm not sure if some of you may have heard or didn't hear the video itself, but um, what it was basically the speaker was basically saying is that real estate, because it's a fixed asset, is not something you want to invest in right now. Uh, let's see, Joe,
Yeah, I
you
think
got
I got it.
okay. All right, go for it,
Uh,
son.
Source of wealth. One was gold, and then real estate. And what do you think? History, there have been two things that people have always wanted as a source of wealth. One was gold, and then real estate. And what do you think about, if you're nervous about paper currency and the valuation of it, why not just buy real estate and hold on to it? Is that not a good idea?
It's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea because real estate is more interest rate sensitive than it is even inflation sensitive. So if you were to say, if this environment happens, does it go? It goes down in real terms. It's also an asset that is a fixed asset that is the easiest asset to tax.
Okay, so he's saying this
In other
fixed
words,
asset and goes
in
down.
any place, you're in a
Kind of stop there.
particular state,
So
putting in
basically,
real
what he's saying
estate
is not
taxes
that
means that they could always get the money. And so it's not an effective diversifier that way. And also being able to move money from one place to another, the real estate is nailed down.
Throughout history, there have been two.
okay.
Okay, what are your thoughts about that, son?
Um, it's hard to hear. It's for me because I'm a real estate investor and I'm invested in this space. So, but I've learned firsthand that it can be challenging at times. And at first, first got interested in real estate. I was really anxious to get my first deal, and overly optimistic, and I ran into some pitfalls, and I bounced back from them. But even after the bounce back, it's been some challenging. And then um, the interest rate, um, it's my investment method is a little unconventional. The interest rates are not the best right now, and so that does discourage people from buying. But from my personal observation, I still see homes getting built. I see people still buying them. So it's always going to be a market
Right,
there. But um,
right. You know what the gentleman is really
what's
missing?
he missing? Hmm.
Diversification. Diversification. Real estate is, if you have real estate as your main thing and that's all you do, yeah, you're gonna be caught up in some things that's gonna cause you to uh, fall back, maybe lose some. That's because you just got you have one pogo stick in your
Hmm.
finances. Real estate is just part of it. It can be a good part, but it's still just a part of your full financial portfolio. So you can have real estate, you can have stocks, you can have bonds, you can have intellectual property. There's different methods to creating wealth. But if you just look at just real estate by itself in certain situations, it may not be as
Hmm.
good. So he's that part that I say that particular speaker is missing in. You have to be diversified. That's all that basically does. It's not really a missing. It's just that diversification is key. Now, the second question. Go ahead. What
Oh,
are you going to say? What do
I
you
wasn't
think?
gonna say anything. It's just interesting perspective. I mean, I'm learning as we speak. I'm still learning. So,
Okay. All right. Now, question number two is what are the financial literacy principles an investor should apply when evaluating different financing options for an investment property? There's conventional mortgage loans, private loans, seller financing, and how do they impact the overall return on the investment when you're choosing either one of those options? What are your thoughts?
um, I mean, I guess it just depends on your overall strategy. It's like I mean, you got a job. Say you got a lot of different tools in your toolbox. So which tools that you use in your investment strategy just depends on the job itself. So when it comes to looking at a property, some of the different strategies are you can buy and hold a property, you can fix and flip a property, you can buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat that process. There's another thing called wholesaling, and that's where you're signing contracts. That's kind of a controversial aspect of real estate investing. And then you got commercial and multifamily, which is the space I'm trying to navigate to. It's just it's hard to say. Just give it's not. I wouldn't say that there's a silver bullet strategy. It just depends on the asset that you're working with and what's your intended goal with it.
Right. So when you're looking at the credit and trying to get some type of assets to help you out, knowing that your credit score, a lot of people look at the credit score because credit score follows you from the time you're born to the time you die. Some lenders look at that as a means of being able to see if they can trust you, see if your idea is valuable, if your idea is going to be a good investment to put their funds into. Yet at the same time, when you're looking at borrowing money from an investment or borrowing money from to get your thing started, there's three main things you need to consider when you're looking at at borrowing money. One, how much you need, and you have to look at and see if it's something that you can pay back. and so how much do you need, how are you going to pay it back, and if what you're doing is going to be a viable option, a viable business. So you look at those three things as you go along, and then your credit score depends on when if you have a 500 points credit score, may or may not help you. But if your idea is like a winner, someone may be willing to reach out and help you get to where you need to go. So it's credit. It's a step to help you improve, but it's not the final answer, final Jeopardy question, so to speak. What do you think?
Credit is definitely important, especially if you are going to borrow money. But I mean, there's other strategies that don't necessarily involve credit. They're probably not as popular, but the biggest one is seller finance. So that's one way people are able to navigate in the real estate spaces. Some deals don't necessarily require your credit. If you're able to present it in a way and show the benefits of how the buyer and the seller can both benefit from an agreement, and you can structure it outside of the banking system. So that's one way deals get done. But it's ideal to have credit so that you can access the bank and fund your deals or get your rehab or your projects, and that makes it a lot easier when you do have that support. So the better your credit is, the easier it may make it for you to be an investor.
Okay. Yeah, and so I got some things that we need to look at when you look at your credit score: debt to income, loan to ratio, financial readiness, and other things you need to consider when you're doing that. And sometimes we don't look at that when we're looking to get a real estate investment or try to do some investing period. We don't look at where we are, what we have, or what we need to get. Now, question number 3, I have for us here, and I have 7 questions, so no doubt we're going to have to finish it up next week. Number 3 says, how does understanding leverage and its associated risks, including interest rate fluctuation, potential for negative leverage, how do these play a crucial role in your financial strategy as a real estate investor? So how does leverage?
Well, you got to understand the cost of money. So anytime you borrow money, there's going to be a cost to it, and a lot of times that cost is baked into that interest rate that they give you. That cost also comes in the shape of the insurance, the maintenance that you're going to have on the property. And so, so if you don't get the best terms, then it's going to cut into your overall profit. And so that's why it's best to try to calculate or estimate what's the cost and benefit of whatever deal that you're looking at. So sometimes it might sound or look like an idea, but when you really get down to the numbers, you can see like this in the long run, this may not be worth it. And then you might have to just see what other strategies that you can do.
Okay. Because you got things like maintenance, repair costs, utility bills, and you, like you say, you're preparing your property for some occupants.
Yes. So you got turnover
Right.
in between. You got housekeeping. So it can be, a lot of time they pitch the idea of it being passive income, and then the reality of it does take a lot of work behind the scenes sometimes.
Okay. Takes a little work. I mean, nothing worthwhile is easy. And if you're doing some sweat equity, it's part of the process, because long term it works out. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the opportunity cost in real estate, in a real estate decision. So this is a whole process, opportunity cost. So you look at it from present year, a year from now, 5 years, 10 years. So it's a long-term, it should be a long-term approach when you're looking at it. So from a present standpoint, you're looking at the cost, how much it's going to tie you down for a payment versus getting returns. So you want to look at that when you do with your investment. A year from now, you want to look at whether the cost of renting versus the appreciation value in your property and the maintenance, if that expense ratio works out, you're getting more than enough from a rental property, so you can have enough to take care of the maintenance of that property at the same time, and you having a profit. You look with that in a year. 5 years, you consider the financial impact, which is equity, because now you look at the home being, you having the house for a while, and then the equity builds up, and how that ownership versus how that works versus compound interest on a regular investment. So investing in renting. So that's just a 5-year goal. Then 10 years later, you're looking at the overall health and wealth accumulation that has occurred from having that property. Look at market trends and your own personal financial goals. Because if you just go into an investment looking at like what I'm going to get today, what I'm going to get tomorrow, today and tomorrow pass so fast before you know it is over. What do you think about some of those, the 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goal there, Sam?
Sometimes people invest in real estate for the tax cuts. So you're looking at those year marks. You can write off. You can reduce your taxable income with especially with some of the maintenance and upkeep. So sometimes that's the reason why people invest in real estate. So there's just another way of looking at it.
Okay, good. I mean, I like that. So you have actually 3 properties, because you only own a house and you have 2 other properties as well. And it's so what do you, from a personal standpoint, what do you like about doing what you do, son?
I like turning around properties that are in distress, and they need to be rehabbed, and I like providing affordable housing for people, and so accommodating stays. So I've worked it from different factors. So at one point I was doing Airbnb. I switched from Airbnb, then I went to furnished finders. I was dealing with like traveling professionals. So I got to network with a lot of different people, and I've learned from these different experiences, and I learned what it takes to be a good host and maintain a good property. So it's just been, I'm learning a lot about business. And then with one of my properties, I'm trying to pivot it into a commercial space. So it's sitting on an acre of land. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. But it's also zoned agricultural. So with it being zoned agricultural, I found an opportunity where it qualifies for a special use permit, and so I'm in the process now of converting that property to a doggy daycare or a pet resort. And so I'm able to recognize opportunities. So where someone may just see a ran down older house, then they might not look at all aspects of the property. So I like to try to position it where it'll meet its highest and best use. So it just teaches me a lot about business, a lot about life, and then just how to turn something that on the surface may look like it's not a loser, into a winner. So I like the challenge. I like challenges, and so this is one thing that kind of does it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome, son. It's an opportunity cost. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the background here for a second, and I'll come back. So just hang on, son. Okay. All right. So for today, that's what we have as far as financial literacy and real estate. Some of the key insights for investors. That's just part one. So part two will be next week. So I just want to remind you that you can download the second volume of my book series, Joseph Building Financial Legacy, which legacy lasts for generations. The very first book was Joseph Building Financial Literacy. Financial literacy lasts a lifetime. Third book is coming. I'm going to start writing it in January, first quarter of 2026. So download this book here, and each chapter in the book has a QR code, and it summarizes each chapter. And then in the beginning, there's a summary of my full concept of what the precious metal trilogy is all about. The 3 books that I'm writing is all about. So I also want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe, get the word out, what we're doing, how we're sharing information here, and help you grow as an individual. Also, you grow if you're a small business owner. Knowledge and wisdom and understanding makes the greatest difference. The second thing you need to do is once you get the knowledge and wisdom, put it into practice. So you can download my app as well. The app helps you get some information as well to what we share. I also send out blogs and also newsletters to kind of give you some summary of what's going on and the economic world that's out there. And hey, it's always about helping you, the individual, help you get your financial point across. So with that, I want to thank you, my son, my oldest baby, man. He's not a baby, but still my oldest, and he's doing so well with himself, working on his doctorate degree. So with that, I want to say thank you for being here today, and always remember, to stay tuned, stay on point, and stay tuned, stay informed, and stay on point. We'll see you again next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and hey, we'll see you next week.